connect a domain. That's why I see customized domain here. You could purchase a domain from GoDaddy, Namecheap, etc., etc. Connect a domain, and you'll be live building a product without actually writing a line of code. Okay, good day, everyone. I think we'll start now. Sorry for the technical issue we had lately. I got everybody out. So I'm going to share my screen now. I think we know what this meeting is for. So we are talking about AI. I know we've not been living under a rock, so we know what has been going on for the past 2-3 years with AI taking almost every single industry, handling some tasks that ordinarily people hire people for. So one of the that's AI software. That's why they limited most of those things. Where you could see GitHub Copilot. If you I don't know if you ever use that, it's really do. But now in 2026 we have full-blown AI models, and they call them agents because they don't actually just rely on the the function of the model. They actually have other things under the hood that get them to build a full blown application. So there are things like architecture, MVPs, etc., etc. So we're not going into that. What we're going to build and play around with, yeah, it's not the AI issue, it's the skill issue. I'm sorry, but it's a skill issue which you have to. I think we'll be bridging a lot of those gaps this night. I think a lot of those should come down to improper planning of your apps and of whatever you're building is tied to you, the person, not the models. Obviously, know that models can be better than others. So we have different models. We have models from Anthropic, that's the Claude, and the rest, Fabo, etc. We have models from ChatGPT, and the likes. We have models from Google, Gemini, and the rest. But all those models, as long as you could, people will start having benchmark. Oh, Gemini is better than Claude, Claude is better than Codex, etc., etc. It all depends on you, the person using the tool. If you don't know how to use the tool, even though you use the best of model, you're still going to get a terrible result. That's facts. So I think I'm waiting for my my assistant to be here. He has a demo to walk us through. But if it doesn't come in a few minutes, I might do that.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Hello.
Let's give me a few minutes.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah,
We'll
So,
just walk. What
welcome.
is called building with AI. It's how we take our ideas from working ideas, just like I said, from working ideas to a full blown prototype. I'm trying to delay as much as possible just to give him chance to get back into the call.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Great Pam, and I'm the outgoing Assistant Director of Software, Department of Computer Science, Faculty of Computing. Okay, so today we are talking about building with AI. So let me just share my screen. Winning, you can stop sharing.
1 more minute. If it doesn't come up, I'll go through everything I have for you guys tonight.
Winning, can you hear me? Winning. I've started.
So I'm going
Someone
to
should.
get over to my assistant. He's going to walk us through the concept of whatever we're doing. So we don't just dive into working with this to actually understand what we're doing. So that's what he's going to be doing.
Winning.
Great. I think you should take over from here.
All right. So are we all together now?
Yes.
All right. Beautiful. So today we are talking about building with AI. I believe we can all see my screen, right? So we're talking about how AI has changed the way people code. Okay, so my first point was it has changed software. Now, in the sense that the entry level before was very low. Okay, the entry level before was it was such that in the industry, if you just knew HTML, CSS, maybe JavaScript, you could easily land a tech job, or maybe you just basic React. You could easily land a tech job. So the bar was low. Now with AI, the bar has become significantly higher. AI has created software architects. Developers spend less time writing repetitive lines of code and more time planning the whole system, how the whole system fits together. It has also helped people focus on the bigger picture. It has helped in building software faster, and now anyone can build apps. And that's the interesting thing about AI. It has given power to everyone. But I'm going to pose a question. Do you think that AI is going to make the job of software developers obsolete? Okay, if you think that AI is going to make the job of software developers obsolete, just give me a thumbs up. If you believe that AI will make the jobs of software developers obsolete, just give a thumbs up. A thumbs up. All right, I see one hand. Okay, so if you believe that AI will only make developers work faster and make there to be more developers and not like replace, just indicates with a reaction. All right, so we'll move on to the next part. The difference between AI assisted development and vibe coding. Now, yesterday I mentioned something to Winning. I saw a video on TikTok. The guy said that he told his friend that give me 6 months, I will be in better shape than you. And the friend responded, I have 6 months too. So that is to say that if you think that you can get better than me now in 6 months, I too can get better than my current state in 6 months. That is to say, if you think AI is giving non-developers an advantage, well, surprise, surprise, the seasoned developers who have been coding long before, uh, all these AI builders came on the scene, have the same advantage. They have the same tools. You are not the only one with these tools. And interestingly, they would know how to use it better. So I was looking at the differences between AI assisted development and vibe coding. So, um, so it's a table. We have the category, we have the traditional AI assisted engineering, and we have vibe coding. So, how has AI changed these, and what's the difference with each category? So the engineer's role. Now, when it comes to AI assisted engineering, the engineer's role is more of an architect and strict code reviewer. Okay, so the engineer is overseeing everything and reviewing the whole code. Why? Because he has a good understanding of it. Meanwhile, the vibe coder is more of the product director and conversational prompter, in that they are just directing the AI on what to do. Okay, So the person that is coding in their IDE, typing, and then consulting these AI chatbots for help is not a vibe coder. Okay, that person is an AI assisted developer. The person, on the other hand, that is just prompting and has no true understanding of what they are doing, but can only understand the results, is the vibe coder. We see that in our next point, code control. The AI assisted engineer has deep understanding and manually inspected security. Meanwhile, the vibe coder has just iterative prompting, which means AI handles code autonomously. They don't know their left from their right in the code base. The primary focus of the AI assistant engineer is production stability, maintainability, and correctness. So it's ensuring that the code is stable, is maintainable, scalable, and correct. Meanwhile, the vibe coder focuses more on the speed of creation, making rapid MVPs and immediate feedback. The main input of the AI assisted developer is the precise logic in terms of syntax guidance and structure refactoring. Meanwhile, the main focus of or the main input of the vibe coder is plain English prompt descriptions and feedback loops. And that is still because of point two, that the vibe coder primarily, usually, does not have an in-depth understanding of the code. All right, let's move over to the next section. Popular vibe coding tools. So we have Cursor, we have Windsurf, we have Cloud Code, we have GitHub Copilot, we have Bolt, we have Lovable, we have V0 by Vercel, and we have Replete AI. I don't know if you noticed, but if you look closely, each of them have a little small text on that. So Cursor, so there's a difference, okay? Cursor is an AI code editor. So it's like VS Code, but it has its internal AI that can help you. So Windsurf, on the other hand, is an agentic IDE similar to Cursor. Then Cloud Code is a CLI assistant and is also a chatbot. So you can chat with it and you can also integrate it into your command line. Should I don't think I should explain what command line is now. Okay, so most of this presentation, we are assuming that the people on the call have a little idea about the basic terms surrounding programming and vibe coding. So forgive us if we don't, define all the terms. IDE means integrated development environment, is where you write your code. All right, so GitHub Copilot, on the other hand, is a code companion. So it can predict when you are typing in maybe VS Code or any other IDE you're using, it can predict what you are going to type next. Or predicts your pattern, predicts the flow, predicts the next line or next function that you would need. So it was actually the first. It came out way before ChatGPT. Yes. But at that time it was just paid for. Then we have Bolt. Bolt is a full stack web app builder. So you can just prompt it and you have your full stack web app. Lovable, same thing. Then V0 is a UI and React generator. Then Replit is a cloud workspace. So all these are AI powered. They are powered by artificial intelligence. So today we might use Bolt or V0 to demonstrate. All right, so let me get to the final part of my talk. So the vibe coding workflow. So how exactly does one turn their idea into software? So how many people here have vibe coded anything before? I need some form of indication, maybe raising of hand or dropping an emoji, a reaction, something. You vibe coded something before? All right, I've seen one reaction to. All right. So that's from the people that have. So if you've never vibe coded, you've never done any form of coding, any form of web development, front end, back end, mobile app, nothing. You've never done anything in tech before. You are just here because it sounds like an interesting topic. Let me see some reactions. You have no tech knowledge. You're just here for, to know more. Anybody like that? No reactions. Okay, okay. We have some, we have some, we have some. Good, 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 good. Lovely. So now let's say you want to, so the practical section is going to really help you. So let's say you want to create a website, okay? So it starts with an idea, know what problem you want to solve. You want to create a website, maybe an e-commerce website. You want to create a quiz website, that will help you. You can simply give it a PDF and it creates the quizzes for you. That's the first step. You have to know exactly what you want. What do you have in mind? The second is to describe what you want. So you have to explain the feature and the design in simple words. So to the AI chatbot, you know, you explain what you want in detail. Then the third is feature breakdown. You break down, so you split big projects into smaller steps. The next AI builds it, you test and iterate, then you deploy. Now, mostly the hard part is between number two, three, and four. In the sense that before you can test and iterate, that means you're satisfied with what the AI built. Now, this part can get a little tricky because I don't know how often we use AI. I mean, particularly those of us who have not really vibe coded before. Because one thing you know about AI is that AI knows how to do its own thing. You can give it a prompt. For instance, you can give it your image and tell it that, oh, I want you to remove the background, and then it turns you white. Like it just makes you straight up Caucasian. So one thing about AI is that AI knows how to do its own thing. You can give it all the instructions you want and it does its own thing. So you have to be very detailed. So the best way is that now when you have an app, you have an idea that you want to build, you shouldn't just go straight to prompting the AI to build it. So you can go to the AI to chat first. Oh, I want to build this. What will it take? What are the steps? So let's say you say, oh, I want to build a simple um website for my business or my mom's business or my sister's business that will just display things about the business, our address, and all that. Then you ask the AI, what will it take? So when you ask that, it's going to give you some examples or suggestions. So to tell you that, okay, you need to have a home page, you need to have your about page, you need to have your services page, and you need to have your contact page. You say, okay, so what is going to be inside the home page so that I can provide the information? Then it will tell you, okay, you need to have the homepage must have the hero section that talks about the business, like just an overall brief paragraph talking about the image, about the I said the image, about the business. Then it must have the maybe how it works section, how exactly the business works, or why you should work with us section, testimonial section, and all that. This way, the AI has helped you break down your idea into smaller parts. Then you can now get it to build that. So you can tell it, okay, let's build the home page first. So you start building one page at a time and you tweak each individual feature. So I'm still on point two, three, and four. Then you tweak each individual feature such that you now get what you are satisfied with. So, like I said in the previous slide, which slide was this? Slide three, that the vibe coder is more of the product director and conversational prompter. Then I also said the primary focus of the vibe coder is speed of creation, rapid MVPs, immediate feedback, and its main input is feedback loops. So you always have to give the AI feedback. You cannot just take whatever it gives you, like, oh, let me not prompt it again before it spoils the one it has done, or something like that. Now, but the only thing that might be an issue is that if you want to really go into building apps and websites, especially if you're thinking of doing it for commercial purposes, you want to start it as a business, or you want to put yourself out there on all these freelancing platforms, you want to start making money from vibe coding, which I think that we should, if you have more questions about that, you can put it in your question and answer session so that we talk about that towards the end. But if you want to do that, one thing that will be an issue to you or a hindrance will be tokens. So there has been, of course, as we all know, we are in the late stages of capitalism, meaning that everything has to be monetized in such a way that the $1 million company gains $1 billion from users. So one of the effects of that is that you would hardly see an AI that gives you enough tokens for free. So they give you the tokens in such a way that you can use the platform, but you may not really be able to do what you want to the end. So it might take you time. Maybe you finish the tokens, you now have to wait for the usage, like you have to wait for it to restart. Maybe it can take 12 hours, it can take 24 hours. Yes. So another option would now be to pay. Okay. So if you are already familiar with it, now I would never advise you to pay first for a system you are not familiar with. So what you do is that if you're planning on going into vibe coding, or to create using AI to create websites and apps for people as a business, you should first start doing some websites to test out and know which platform is the slot for you, which platform would give you the better results. Then you use the free tier for a while, maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month. Get familiar with it. Get familiar with some basic web development stems. Get familiar with how the tech market works. Then you now decide which AI you're going to pay for. Yes, that way you can start using it well in such a way that you are productive, and hopefully you get clients that would want to, or that would want you to build websites for them. Or you can go ahead building your own projects as you like. Then of course the last steps are test and iterate and then deploy. So you have to know a bit about Git and GitHub, and then about deployment services. So I think YouTube can really help with this if you're not still comfortable with just the AI doing it, because it's not all of these AI platforms that have a way for you to deploy directly so that other people can use your service. All right, so what are we doing today? So I'm going to hand over to Winning. So Winning, you take it up from here, and Winning is going to be showing us how to build from scratch with AI. Okay, so Winning, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
All right.
we are doing. Okay, I hope you can see my screen. I'd love to stay on this.
Yeah, I
I
can
think
see your
this
screen.
is. I'd love to stay on this. I think this is.
Oh,
Whatever
I'm
you're
not
seeing, this is
seeing
what we'll be
your
using
screen
throughout
now.
whatever we are doing.
Okay, I'm seeing your screen now.
Whatever you're seeing, this is what we'll be using. And some things uh, speak about this. This probably not see that often. I don't know if people are hiding it, or I sincerely don't know. So whatever you want to do, you always start with an idea, right? An idea. So I'm going to show us three apps. All I want us to look at these three apps, a market and have their product, right? And you go browse and you go check people's market and what they have available, etc. etc. I'm going to open the last one. This is a Rapid application. So this is what last one is having. I'm on the chat on my phone. I just also want to have a guess. Okay, so what I want to say is all these three platforms I just showed you were actually built with AI, right? All these three platforms, including this one. This one looks like something you pay a developer to actually work on. But every single thing here, I can sign up as a merchant, sign up as a customer. all these things, everything you're seeing here was built with AI. It's no, the tools are not the issue. It's actually you. You're the issue. You're actually the individual prompting that's actually the issue. That's the limiting barrier between you and creating good products. Now, what I see most people do is they do this. So this is also a raffle draw application. It's going to come up. This is a raffle draw application. And I'll say people, oh, I made this app and this is what I'm seeing. This obviously doesn't look good compared to what we have here. So that's the barrier, the gap we are going to try as much as possible to close in this call. And back to what I said, we'll be doing all of things we'll be showing you here is it starts from this 5 or maybe 6 different steps. Now there are so many vibe coding tools or AI builder tools, whatever I want to call it, that we have available. I think Red Palm listed some of them. Number one is V0. V0 was popularly known for making UI-based application, but right now it has grown so much that I can create full stack application. And when I say full stack, I want to specify that I believe most of us are computer science students or infotech students, one of those. We should be familiar with these terms. When I say full stack, I mean application that have a backend. I'll come back to what all these terms mean. We have both AI, both new rather. So this was one of the vibe coding tools that was popping up during when I think after Lovable this was trending again. Then anti-gravity. So this is not actually anti-gravity. This is Google AI Studio. Google AI Studio have 2 products. This is Google AI Studio, and they also have anti-gravity studio. I was tempted to use Google AI Studio, but I discovered that probably many of us won't be in, because I'm pro in this, because I have access to the pro in this and Go AI Studio. But I discovered that I want to use the application that most people or a lot of you who haven't actually paid for any of this platform will be able to use without saying, oh, we need to use a pro app, that's why its apps are different. No, so this is free. I'm at the free plan in every other of this application, V0, both.new, etc., etc. So now the 3 apps I showed you guys, which is 1, a calculator app, 2, a marketplace app, 3, a raffle draw app. I'm going to start with the most simplest one. We've heard of people one-shotting apps. I don't know if you understand what that term means. One-shotting app means one prompt, and you're going to get it done with one prompt. So a lot of people, when they try that, it doesn't really work, because one-shotting apps only work when the app is as simple enough and when you give it as detailed prompt as possible. So back to what we have. First of all, we start with an idea. So now we want to build. So we'll be building 2 apps in this live stream. One is the quiz app, which I just showed you. 2 is the raffle draw app. I don't think we'll have time. This will probably take longer than the time we have available. I'm trying to be as fast as possible. We also have a limitation of waiting for this waiting for these tools to actually be done running. So I'm going to see how I can avoid that. So first of all, we're going to build in a quiz app. So we come up with let's say we have a textbook, we have whatever we want to study material we want to use. We're going to be building a quiz app. Now we start with an idea. I want to build a quiz app. Good. Now we need to describe what we want. So we have to now remove our mind from a quiz app to expanding that idea to actually a list of features. If it's something as much as if it's a software that requires much feature, quiz app is simple enough that I can say a quiz is actually just one feature. So I can have a big app and I have whatever, I just have a quiz feature in it. So quiz is actually a feature. So we don't necessarily need a feature breakdown, but what we do need is a description of whatever we want to do. Right? A description of whatever I want to do. So after we are done with that, we get to letting AI do whatever we want for us. So I actually have, just to make sure this call is not that long, I came up to Gemini, whatever AI you want to use. I want to build a quiz app. Give me a detailed prompt that I could give to an AI to build. Whatever you do, that to give you a prompt, I'm telling you literally to give you a prompt, give you a prompt, something as similar as this. Whatever you're seeing here was built in 1 or 2 prompts. Everything you're seeing here was built in 1 or 2 prompts. As much as this looks good, it was built in 1 or 2 prompts, which I'm going to be showing here. So whatever idea you want to build, come up with AI. Remember, you have to distinguish if this app is just one feature app, or is a feature where I need to break down the features, or is an app where I need to break down the features into multiple steps, right? So this is build me a modern quiz app. By the way, Gemini gave me this. I just have to tell it I want to build a quiz app. Give me a detailed breakdown of a simple quiz app. So what I'm going to do, I have a PDF. So this is v0.app. This is what we're going to be using for our first app, v0.app. Right? You sign in with GitHub, sign in Google, both of them works. I'm just going to upload a document from my PC. So this is data structure. This is from Cambridge. It's a data structure notes. I'm just going to upload that. So while that is uploading, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take whatever prompt you're seeing here. This was given, like I repeat, this was given to me by Gemini. Go to Gemini, tell it I want to build a quiz app. Give me a detailed breakdown of everything a quiz app should need. Refine the prompt as much as possible. So what we have here is a data structure lecture note has been uploaded, which is what I've already uploaded. Read the document, generate at least 100 multiple choice question. Each question should contain 4 options with exactly 1 correct answer, include a short explanation, blah blah blah. We just detail, right? Save my history of previous attempts, include the dashboard showing me total quiz attempt, highest score, etc., etc. I'm going to copy this, right? So, like I said, this app is as simple enough that I can attempt one-shotting it, right? So that's why if you're building an app bigger than this, you need to break down the features into smaller parts. Now, whatever I'm going to do here can still produce me an app that doesn't visually look good to me, or it doesn't visually look good to whoever is using the application. So that's the next step I'll be talking about. I just want this to paste. So we have our documents, we have our prompt, which I just pasted here. Remember what the prompt said. I have read the uploaded document and generate at least 100 with multiple choice question and do all this, right? This app I want to build. So I'm attempting one-shotting this. I'll repeat just because this app is simple enough that I could attempt one-shotting it. So this is going to take some while to build, probably a few minutes. Like I said, I don't want this live stream to be quiet while this is building. But so we are quickly going to let this run. We are going to go on to the next one. Right? I think that's the approach we'll be going for. I'll let this run and go to the next one. But I'll let you know what I did. At first, it generated not this, it generated a really bad application, something very terrible. I'm telling you, something that doesn't it works, but it doesn't visually look good to me. So there's a second step you have to do to actually build beautiful apps. It's called skill.md. Now, every single vibe coding tool supports a form of skill or a form of agent. We call this and these are like instructions being passed to the whatever AI you're using. Right now I'm using V0. Whatever AI you're using to tell it, look, I want this to look like this. These are like constraints we give to our AI model. So where I'm going to go to is called get skill. I think I have it here. Get skill.md. So I think I should open a new tab, get skill.md. So this is get skill.md, right? Now this take reference to another website. Let's say you have a website that you know that this website looks visually appealing to me, and I want to make my whatever I'm building to look exactly like whatever reference website I'm looking at. So what you have to do is take in that. So let's say I like Paystack. Let's say I like Paystack. I'll go to paystack.com. I don't need to access it. What I need to do is copy paystack.com, go to getskill.md, paste paystack.com, click generate. Now, whatever this getskill.md is going to do is going to generate me a skill for both UI. It's going to generate me a skill for both like API documentation. But what we are focusing on in this call is UI, right? All I want to do is get the specification of how this UI is built or whatever design element was used to build this AI, and I want to send that to my AI model to say, look, I love this AI, I love this website, right? This is the specification of how the UI was built. Please replicate. So I already have one done just so that I can save a lot of time. I used a website called Post Travel. I really love how the website looks. Posttravel.com. It just looks nice, right? Now, I want whatever I'm building to have a similar touch than this. You might say, is this not copying? You can still like an artist, it's allowed. So I already have this running. So when this is done running, it's supposed to generate something like this for us. All we are looking for, scroll down, all we are looking for is this. preview. The mood, the colors, every single thing about the UI, we have it here. The fonts, the padding, the background color, what, etc., etc. The card, how the card was designed. All we have to do now is copy this. So I'm going to repeat myself. Go to skill.md. Skill.md. This is the name of the website. I may drop this in the chat for whoever wants this. Where is my call? Here. So I'm going to drop this. I'm going to drop this here. So that's the website. It's called getskill.md. It's used for more than UI. If you've done anything like this generation field, if you've done anything like if you've used most agentic platform, you discover that those things were mostly used, because if you have like, I'm trying to explain this in the best possible way. If you have a software you've already built, you already have it, especially when you're working with a team of developers. But even though if you decide that, okay, I'm going to use AI to generate some features, you want to have a skill.md go give it constraints on what to do. Okay, my software will always use a controller file. Okay, I don't want to go into those are technical terms, but all I'm saying is go to skill.md, paste the website you have, click generate. It's going to generate you a skill.md file just like this. This is specifically for design. There are other things, but specifically for design, that's the first thing you see here. Copy it, go back to your AI model. So got it, whatever. So this has been asking me for a while. Build. So it's still running. Go to your AI model. You're going to paste it and say, look, this is a UI specification. Modify my website or app, whatever you want to use, app to look similar to the specification given. So I'm not going to send this because this is not done running, right? But once you do that, it's going to give you something as close to, it won't give you something like this, but because I use it to give you something that works, number one, which is the first prompt I told you to do. Number two, is going to give you a UI that looks good because it's giving a specification to work with, right? So we're going to go start with the next. Do anyone has any question before I comment? We're going to come back to V0 if it's done. Is there any question? If you have, just raise your hand. If not, I'll continue with my presentation. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. So number two, we're going to build this. This is a raffle draw application. Now, a raffle draw application is not as simple as a quiz app, right? It's not as simple as a quiz app. So attempting to one-shot it will give me something like this. Something like this, rather, like I said. Attempting to one-shot it will give you something like this. Now, to make sure you have the best of products, what you have to do is have a feature breakdown. So I want to build a raffle draw app. I have to plan. Back to this, this is my idea. I have to describe what my idea is. And I have to have a feature breakdown. So I have Gemini open here. This is Gemini. This is Gemini open here. I could tell it. I don't know if I should start typing, but I think I have a conversation here. Let me go up so I could just use. You could tell it, look, I want to build a raffle application. I want to build a portfolio site. I want to build a whatever I want to build. Give me a step-by-step. So this is the prompt I gave Gemini, right? I want to build a raffle application and I'm using AI to build. Give me prompt to build every feature. So its aim is to give me the prompt to build the feature step by step instead of trying to one-shot it. Like I said, not every app is easy to one-shot. You might get a terrible result. You might get feature that breaks. You might get things that work halfway. So I think just for the purpose of this class, I'm going to copy this prompt and I'm going to use it again instead of what did I copy? I'm going to copy this and I'm going to reuse it. So what I'm letting Gemini know is, look, I'm building a raffle draw application. I'm using AI to give me a detailed prompt for build every feature. So this is more description of what I'm building. I want the user to be able to create a raffle draw and share the link to users. Users can use that link to enter a raffle draw by adding their name, their email, clicking submit, and to generate an ID code for the user. So this is my description. Back to what I was saying, the description phase. I've described my feature now. The reason why we're using AI to prompt instead of prompting directly is because AI is a better prompt. It can prompt better than humans. Like AI is a better prompter of AI than you. It's able to give you a better detailed prompt. But this is my description of whatever I want to build. I'm going to send this. I'm going to let the AI. I'm going to let Gemini cook a little bit. So similar thing to what we have previously. It's going to break down everything into step. And let's see if this is done. So this is done. So what you could see here is a terrible user interface of a quiz app. I'll let you know that this will work. It will work every single time, but the UI is just off, right? This will work every single time. The UI is just off. So what I'm going to do is send back that prompt I had. I pasted a skill.md seems to have left. I'll just redo that skill.md copy back to the 0, and I'm going to give it this, and I'm going to let him know. Okay, it's not still done. Okay, it's done. So I'm going to let him know this is a UI specification. Update my UI to follow the spec given in this document. So whatever it's trying to do now is trying to test the app on its own. So I could stop that because I can test it manually. And I'm going to send out this prompt I just sent. I just added. So this is going to edit my UI to make it look nice and clean. We're going to get back to that. So let's continue what we're doing. So like I said, because the app is not as simple as a quiz app or whatever, we're going to have a feature breakdown. So we have prompt 1, prompt 2, prompt 3, prompt 4. I think that's all. So what I'm going to do is use the first prompt. This might take a while, so we'll see what we'll do. So I'm going to use both. So for full stack app, if I ever want to use it, I use Google AI Studio. I use both. I'm going to just use both for now for general purpose. So I'm not telling it to build me the full app. What I'm telling it is the phase 1 of whatever plan we have. I'm building a raffle job application, generate a database schema. So all it wants to do is generate a database schema of that, my tables and the rest, my tables, column, etc., etc. This might take a while, but one thing about AI builders is that they integrate with Superbase. Superbase is like a backend as a service, and you need to create an account with Superbase to build full stack app. Or we have builders like Bolt, which they have their own database integrated. So if you click on here, database, right now we have nothing. You could create tables manually, but I'm going to let my AI cook a little bit. So right now what it's doing is generating my database. Is going to just do exactly what I said. Okay, they might have a little bit of silent moments, but if you have any question, just drop it in the call. So I'm on the chat on my phone. I could just reply you. So right now, I think whatever I generated failed. So it's going to go ahead and fix it. Then there's another step. It's called test and iterate. Whenever the AI is done, right, you can go through whatever we have, just test it manually. If it doesn't work, you say, okay, I don't like how this works. You're going to reiterate, send him a prompt, please fix this. It's going to fix that. This is another hard to fix. And there's an advantage of being a dev. I think there's a time someone showed me something I was working on, and the stupid issue that the AI couldn't figure out was just a circular import. That it had on the project. So if you're a developer, you need to come into the code. I think you could come from here, click on code. Click on code. This will open the code base on your browser, and you could edit it manually. Or there are two steps. Or you could literally just push it to GitHub. So if I click on, I think this share, not share. There's an option somewhere around here to literally push whatever you have. I don't think it's published. Yeah, this create a repo. It will literally create a repo for you on GitHub. So I'm signed in. It says it's going to create this repo for you. If I create, it's going to automatically create that repo for me. It's going to push whatever it has on down to my GitHub repo, and I could clone it manually and make any adjustments that I want manually on my PC. Okay, so back to preview mode. So now we just have something way better. Why? Because of our skill.md. So I showed you a website. So this skill.md was gotten from Sport Travel. So this is the website I was gotten from. And taking this website to skill.md to give me the UI specs, I was able to get this done. So this just looks similar to what we have here. It just looks similar to what we have here. Compare this to whatever we have here, rather. So that's how you create a website that looks good. You could also like create your own. If you're trying to go original, right? There are some softwares that are built. If I'm trying to go original, it's just easier to come up with your own specification of whatever you want being built. I'm going to come back to both. So it's done with the first prompt, and what you could see here from our database, you see it created two tables, a raffle table and an entry table, and yeah, you could inspect whatever column it has on a. Once you start building, discover that these whole tables will be populated by whatever we our entries, right? So I'm going to come back to this phase 2, second prompt. Don't know if we'll be able to be fast with this. For second prompt, so I'm not attempting to one-shot this, so I get it as close to what I want. That's why I'm not attempting one-shotting this. 17, copy, 4, 5, I think. I think there's going to be some silent moments because you're just going to allow this work. Okay, I think it's done. It's done with that. So we're going to go with stage, the third prompt. So by the way, this is building feature by feature. If you want to inspect whatever is doing, you come here. So this is interacting with Superbase. These are some migration file for our database. We could literally come and see whatever code is writing. So this is like most of these tools, they usually use React, Next.js. Next.js is still React, but it gives you full stack implementation. Yeah, so most of these tools, what they use is React underneath. Okay. So I think that's done. So like I told you, this is what you do if you just try. If you I'll get that step. It's going to give you a terrible UI. Most of the time it's going to give you a terrible UI. So I'm going to continue with I think where are we at? Where are we at? This is what was the last prompt I build a public. Okay. Build a public. So that was that. So I'm going to use this. We're at the fourth prompt. So this was the reason I wanted to use Google AI Studio, because this has some token limitation. I don't think 77K token will be enough. I can't switch to this now because it's taking quite some time. Okay, I think that's done. So what you just have to do is the last one. I think we have. I've maxed out this. Me using both in the class. Either that I've used anti-gravity or okay. I think that one working more. Um but basically you could just do that if you have a very large app, or if you're building something like this, right? You're building something like this is a marketplace, and building something like this, you can't try one shot or with very few prompts. This is something that actually takes time. Just even this landing page took more than one prompt, right? So you just have to work with your AI, let your AI break down every single thing. Work with a chat-based AI, Gemini, ChatGPT, whatever one you're more comfortable with. Let it break down your whole application idea into features. Then from those features, depending on how big it is, you should break it down into modules or into prompts that you could use to generate whatever I want. Then most of this application they support skills. I think I'll actually use some of them in my agentic. I think anti-gravity ID. You see application will support like agent MD or skill MD. These are, like I said, their instructions. You could manually write your agent MD of what you want your AI to be constrained of, or you could use AI to generate, or you could use skill.md if you're trying to copy it from another website. So I think that just most of how this work. So whatever I did here, whatever prompt you saw here, back to here, so I had the conversation already. Whatever prompt you saw here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, was actually what I used to build this, right? This rather. Was actually what I used to build this, right? The UI for this was generated by me. I didn't use a skill MD, so you could literally pick a font from Google Fonts. Just pick a font. You can keep note of whatever you're doing. Pick a font. Say I want my header text to use this font. I want my smaller text to use this font. I want a rounder corner. I want an icon from a particular icon set. Whatever UI element you want, copy, just save them somewhere. Use AI to refine it, right? Like I said, AI is a better prompter than we can ever prompt. So let AI refine whatever I want to do. Copy those, go to whatever coding agent you're using, whether be it Bolt or be it Lovable or be it Go AI Studio or be it Anti-Gravity. Give it that give it that constraints, that's your agent MD, and say, look, whatever you're doing, I want you to be constrained by whatever specification is written in this document, and to do just that. I think so. This is what we had. I think this is what we had when I did that, right? So this is basically a raffle draw. So I could literally this is a MacBook Pro example, right? Have a description, whatever description I want, have an end date. By the way, you wonder why this have an end date, this have the title. On the plan we gave to that our AI generator. Sorry, can you guys hear me? So I think I lost connection somehow. I don't know
Yeah, very you.
but I think someone asked a question, can you use Claude? And Okay, I think I'm back. Can you guys hear me? Can someone say something?
We can hear you now.
I'm hearing
Yes,
you.
we
I'm
can.
Okay,
hearing you.
I'll
We
just
can
go
hear
ahead.
you. I'm hearing you. I can hear you.
So most of these can be just like I said, there are so many um AI
I can
platforms,
hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you.
codecs, whatever. But I think one of if you're looking for one of the cheaper alternatives, this gives you I think this is like 28,000 naira, but if you try purchasing it, it actually leave you 1 month of 7K, then from the next month you have to pay your 28K. But if you're trying to start by coding, I won't suggest anyone paying for this until you actually know you actually have an idea of what you're doing, right? And actually have an idea of what you're doing, then you could try out the free plan, try and see if it's something that you try out so many of the other tools and see if it's something you're more comfortable with, and yeah, from there, based on what you're doing, you could actually upgrade. I think that should be most of it for this class, right? um that should be most of it for this class. I don't know if anybody does anyone have okay, I dropped I was demoing something. So I have the raffle draw link on the chat. So I'm going to test it out. Whatever you're seeing here is the same prompt I used. So if I get this and I probably open a new incognito tab, and I paste this, what this does is that it just lets you prefill. Okay, this raffle draw have ended. I set the time too tight. Okay. So I'm just going to create a new one, create another raffle draw. Just going to create a new one, and I'm going to set the time this 11. So we have enough space. Okay, sorry. This if I go 11 p.m. generate. What's today's date? Okay, the same thing. You copy this link, send to whoever is getting on the raffle draw. Get their name, get their mail, click submit entry, and you just have all of this down here. So I'm going to copy manage raffle draw page. If I go there, I have one participant. I'm going to drop this in case you want to try this out. Same thing, right? Not this. I'm going to try it again. I'm just going to open a new tab. I'm going to use a different user. And right now I can refresh this page and you see I have right? I could randomly now do this. This is a fake animation, by the way. It picks a user and says, "Oh, this is the user that I want." And I think that's just how this works. And everything you're seeing here was happened because I'm just going to go a breakthrough of whatever we did. Number one, we have an idea. Two, we describe an idea, and we let an AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever AI, give us a feature breakdown. We use that feature breakdown to give to AI to build. Whatever the AI builds, we are going to test and we are going to reiterate. Okay, so this doesn't work, update it. This doesn't work as expected. I want this to be so. This is what the iterative step does. Then you deploy. And deploying these things are actually very, very simple, right? Very, very simple. Now, anytime you have an error like this for a specifically V0, you just click on fix the V0. It's going to take this prompt, take this error, give it as a prompt, and it's going to work with it. So I can click on publish, and I think this is still running, so it won't let me publish directly. It's telling me to wait for the production. But when you click on publish, it's going to give you a link similar to whatever you're seeing here, right? Similar to whatever you're seeing here. Once it does that, you could be able to share it to be able to use it. Then whenever you're ready, you could connect a domain. That's why I see customized domain here. You could purchase a domain from GoDaddy, Namecheap, etc., etc. Connect your domain, and you'll be live. Building a product without actually writing a line of code. So before we close, I would like to say something. Whatever we're doing here, whatever you're seeing here, it's no an excuse for you to not actually learn the technical side of things, right? First of all, you won't be employable to anybody if you're not very, very technical, right? So well, you from our previous presentation, we mentioned something about being an architect. So with the use of AI now, you actually need to be an architect of whatever you're building. That you need to know how software works and how software works altogether, because there are a lot of times once you use AI can have, if you don't give it constraints, it might do things that are not necessarily what it wants. And if you're not technical enough to be able to dig down and figure out whatever issue, imagine you have a database query that is too slow and you don't know what indexing is to be able to index your database to make your query faster. Your product is just going to be very slow and laggy, and you're not going to have a way around that, right? So that's where learning the technical side of working with AI actually does. So the whole essence of this class was to bridge the gap between building a very stupid app with actually having a structured pattern of how to do the app, which is, I think, back to this flow we mentioned. Yeah, I think that's all for this night. I don't know if does anybody have any questions. You could raise your hand. You could unmute your mic and speak. Can this work in gaming space? There's what we call there's what we call I'm trying to remember, canvas, right? It's called HTML canvas. That's games that work on a web, right? So these are games that work on the web. You could literally tell it, look, I want to build a game and let this be a canvas. Now there are some apps that literally all what we've done is desktop app with anti-gravity, Google AI Studio rather. Google AI Studio was built by Google, and Google are the owners of Flutter. Flutter is a Flutter is a mobile app, so you can see build an Android app here. Flutter is a mobile app framework. So if you're using Go AI, so you could literally build an AI app, build your APK file, whatever, and get that on your phone, and to work as same thing as the way same thing as how the web work. I think so. I think that answers your question. You could build a game in an Android app if you have to use the right tool. Like I said, you have to use Google AI Studio. So if I'm building a game, I will likely use Google AI Studio because it just supports Android apps natively. Yeah. I think, is there any other question before we close? Is there any other question? Can I get flowchart diagram? We have for flowcharts. Okay, I think I get what you mean. So if you have a database, how do you get a flowchart from there? So for both already gives you a database schema. Both already gives you a database schema. I hope my network lost. Both already give you a database schema. You could export whatever you have in your database schema down to, and I don't know if you heard of draw.io. Is a platform used for drawing technical stuff, right? You could export your database schema, go to draw.io. I think draw.io currently has AI integrated in their tools and let it know that, oh, I want to build a UML diagram, a flowchart diagram, build this for me, and to just do just that. I think that's all. That's all. Does anybody has any other question before we round up? None. All right. I think we'll call that a wrap. Thank you so much for joining us. Hopefully you've learned something meaningful, right? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're going to be ending now. Have a good night rest. This is 9:50. Have a good night rest and sleep well and prepare for school on Monday. Bye bye.